Welcome to Picture Book Drama, where it is everything in entertainment. I am your host, Sean, your video and comic guru. And this video didn't start off the way I thought it would. This originally was going to be an unboxing video of my DVD and Blu-ray Ultimate Edition collections of The Matrix, but as I was getting ready to cut it open, I'm actually filming myself getting ready to cut this open. I couldn't do it. It's beautiful, it's pristine, it's clean, and I got the movies right here. So I bought this, so why would I open this? So the video changed. This is going to be a Matrix review. I will show you the Blu-ray disc. I'm not really going to call it an unboxing. This is just going to be my Matrix review. So come back, sit back, grab some popcorn. When I come back, we'll talk all about the Matrix. Sorry, America. Okay guys, we're back. Again, this is going to be my Matrix review, talking about the Matrix movies, not going into philosophical debates about what the movie represents, but just what the movie was, what it meant to me, how it affected me when I first saw it, and how I felt after the last one came out. Now, this movie came out in 1999, and it was ahead of its time, but it was at the right time. It was where people couldn't understand it, and if they didn't understand it, it opened up that line of communication with people who did get it. And I'm one of the people, I guess, who got it, because when people tell me they didn't understand it, it kind of baffled me. It's like, well, they're kind of saying that the world that we live in now is the fake world, and we have to find a way to get to the reality. And I love that. I love the fact that it was kind of a creeped out situation in a way. It wasn't that, the life that you're living now is, picture perfect and you get everything you want. It's kind of based on how you are as a person. So each person's lives will be matrixized, I guess, if you want to use a made-up word, into what they think their life should be. So that kind of creepy, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, isn't this kind of, an insane concept? Because if you're living in a fantasy world, you would think everything would be perfect, but you look around, nothing's perfect. So to actually find out that something that is in your head still didn't come out the way you would think it would, I like that. They threw in things about deja vu, which I really get creeped out by deja vu. I do believe it exists. I know it does, because we just get the chills when it happens. But anyway, when this movie came out, Keanu Reeves was really not considered a really good actor. And I didn't understand that, because Bill and Ted is a great role. I mean, if you see any interview with Keanu Reeves, he's an incredibly serious person, and his sense of humor tends to be very dry. His character in Bill and Ted was, insane and off the wall, and just basically a 80s version of Spicoli. So I thought, wow, this guy actually can act. Unfortunately, the roles that he keeps getting just don't show it. And I like that in this movie they even make fun of the Bill and Ted in there, which hopefully if I have a clip of that, I'm playing it right now. If not, I'm pointing to just thin air. But, Lawrence Fishburne was the big star of this movie, because he was the one that was the more dramatic actor, and we're starting to get into the sci-fi films. And I think Sphere came out around the same time, so everything was coming, sci-fi at that point. But this really stripped it all down. I didn't know who Carrie-Anne Moss was. I didn't know who Hugo Weaving was. And this was before, Lord of the Rings, so I didn't know who this guy was. But it worked in his favor, because these weren't recognizable faces that you see all over the place, so they blended in more, and it made the story feel more authentic. So when they were bringing Neo into it and explaining how the real world that he thought was real is actually just a computer simulation in a way, it just broke through everything, and it was just, you really did follow his character through the movie. Usually they try to incorporate a character like that and you don't follow him through, you're kind of like not invested in him as well as you are with Neo. To his first, meeting with Agent Smith. I think they call him Agent Smith, and that, Hugo Weaving thing is so deadpan, and that voice that he has, chilling. You knew this guy was deadly. But the opening scene of The Matrix, where you have Carrie-Anne Moss, coming into the real world, and you don't know that at the time. And she does this, one of those famous scenes that keeps getting, at the time anyway, I think 50 movies did the same scene of her hanging in the air, and they do that pan around her, and she does the kick, the running up the wall. It was wire work that we had never seen before. Now, this is stuff they had done over in Hong Kong, in their martial arts films, but we never had that. We were still doing practical stunts where you were limited by gravity. With the wires now, that opened up a whole new world, which, as I talk about later, became a problem. But for this movie, this movie is perfect. It hit everywhere. It was cerebral. It was visceral. It was great. You felt this movie, and after it was over with, you just went home and you couldn't stop talking about it. That is rare in a movie. I mean, when Keanu Reeves finally breaks through and he realized that he could get plugged in and learn all these new martial arts and computer programs and techniques, and he was like a sponge soaking it all up, and he just says that famous line, I know Kung Fu. That movie broke into another world. It just really took you to places you'd never been before, and if you had, you didn't remember. This movie was so original that it makes all movies after that unoriginal, including their sequels. But I thought it ended perfectly. It almost reminded me of an episode of The Twilight Zone, where it was just an ending that was open-ended. When he flies off at the end, perfect. When he's fighting Agent Smith, and I guess even before that, when he meets the one lady who and I can't remember everybody's name. I'm not gonna try to. Hopefully I got her picture up here, because the actress who played her, oh God, I'm gonna remember that while I'm here. Oracle. They took him on to see the Oracle. Sorry, brain was a little fried there. Sometimes it happens when you try to remember names, but when they went to go see the Oracle, and he gets told that he's not the one, it kind of shifted everything, because as an audience, we still knew he was the one, but we felt that it had to be more of, he had to learn to believe like they believed in him. And that wasn't the case. That scene where he's fighting Agent Smith in that train, in the railway or underground, and he has to run away because he's losing the fight, but he's starting to believe in himself. He was fighting more, stronger than any other person ever has against someone like Agent Smith. When he actually runs into the building and they're fighting, I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna somehow in here overcome this, and he's gonna take out Smith. Smith shoots him. He doesn't shoot him once. He shoots him like, I think, 12 times. Kills him. He's dead. His body in the Matrix, it died. And when they began to see the code on the monitor change, it was more of like his body being plugged in. And they do a lot of, as they go into these movies, and like Superman did it before, where you get more the Christ-like figure. Later on that didn't work. And this, it was a good one, because it kind of felt like he was a part of the Matrix, and that's why he came back, which I guess he kind of is too. But when he comes back, and then he's super calm, and the way he's fighting is just, so nonchalant, like he's not even a part of the fight. And he takes out Smith by running in and taking over his body and causing his body to explode. In computer code, which I love, you just felt this movie was hitting all the right spots. Unfortunately, then we go into the next one, which is Matrix Reloaded in 2003. Now, they had already been saying for years that they had talked about doing a trilogy, and by that I do mean the Wachowski brothers. Hopefully I said that correct. But it just didn't hit that level that I wanted. It was like, okay, now he's flying around like Superman. They even make a reference that he's doing this Superman thing. You know, it just was like too much. I don't want to go into depth on on the other two because I don't want to make this a hate video because I don't love them. May not completely hate them, but I'm very annoyed with them because it makes the Matrix less special to me. Even though it always will be one of the best movies, best sci-fi movies, if not one of the best movies I've ever seen, because it changed the genre, it changed cinema, the way they film things. Suddenly everybody was doing wire work to the point where you got sick of it, where they had to go back to being more practical. So, you know, imitation being the best form of flattery got oversaturated to the point where even in these movies it was too much. And then when they got rid of the wire work, they started doing CG. And you looked at it and you're like, that's a CG, you know, Neo and a CG Smith. I don't want to see a CG world. I want to see the characters interact in a CG environment. I would have rather seen Keanu Reeves himself going around doing the kicks, even if he's on a green screen stage and they got wires holding him up and he's spinning and doing the kicks. I would have rather seen that than him CG'd up, all computer animated and doing it, because then I was taken out of the film. It looked good, it looked great, but I knew it was CG because I was studying graphic design and computer animation at the time. It took me out of it because then I'm like, well, couldn't they have added more shadow to this? Couldn't they have done more of this? Why did they choose that? Why didn't they choose more of the practical actor? Wouldn't it have been faster? And I could obviously be completely wrong because they decided to go CG. Or maybe it was a technique that they just wanted to do at the time that was new, and since the first one was so original that they wanted to try something new with this, so I give them credit. Great action in Reloaded. You know, the scene on the highway, they built their own highway to do this, so fantastic, that fucking worked, I like that. But when they have to go and, you know, go down the hallways, opening up all these doors and having to get the guy's name, I don't know, I'll call him the governor, I don't know. But you knew that something bad was gonna happen. It was just like, okay, someone's gotta die. You know, it was a keymaker who ends up dying in that, spoiler. But it was kind of just one of those films where it was like, okay, we're just going through the motions here to get to here. Zion. I thought Zion wasn't, or I hope that's what it's called, you know, didn't exist. I thought there wasn't really no world left. But now they got, you know, the hedonistic, you know, orgy going on, and they're all walking around in sheets and cloths, and, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then, you know, just annoyed me. It had the potential, but it was poorly executed. You know, the scene in a restaurant where that was just, I just didn't like it. And if I didn't like that, I hated this one. Revolutions, it was kind of like, again, good plan, poor execution, long and drawn out. Then, you know, we have to have 3 different plans, 3 people doing 3 things, which is where this one left off, actually. And I'm sorry if I'm not going into high detail of it. This is the plot. The plot sucked. It was terrible. They're basically just trying to find out what the Matrix is, and when they do find out, so didn't like it. But what I hated the most is the fact that they tried to make Neo a Christ-like figure. It was overly done. It was just thrown in your face so much that I was like, okay, they're gonna kill him. They got to. I didn't know they were gonna kill off, and I keep forgetting Carrie Ann Moss's name in this one, but she ends up dying too. She dies first to get him to where he needs to go. Now, I will say that they did some things in this I wasn't expecting. The fact that Neo ends up getting his eyes gouged out. That she ends up getting killed because they tried to kill her off in this one and he pulled the whole, I'm going in your body, take the bullet out type crap. didn't mention that because I hated that too. But in this one, he couldn't save her. So that scene worked. Him going to fight Agent Smith again, now that Agent Smith has unplugged himself and now he's on Neo's level. The fight was more intense, but it was all CG again. The fight in the rain, it looked good when it was them fighting, but when they go CG, again, I'm taken away from it. I really don't watch these unless they're on cable, and then I have to really almost be drunk or kind of like, okay, it's an action scene, I'll watch that. When that's over, I'll change the channel. The Matrix, however, I will watch that all the way through whenever I see it. I watch this movie at least once a year, so it doesn't get stale to me, so I don't feel like fast forwarding these scenes. Because in this movie, even though I know the movie, each scene leads you to the next. It's a beautiful domino effect. These are just fucking waste of time and just done for movie, for money. Yeah. But that's my Matrix review on that. Now they did do one that is not sitting here. I do own it, I just couldn't find it. And that's the Animatrix. Animatrix came out actually right after the first Matrix film. The Animatrix is actually, I think, 4 short films done by 4 different anime directors. So you got 4 different styles, maybe more in that. But it was great to see all these different anime directors taking their crack at an American story in a way and making it their own. And they did. They expanded on it really well. They could have just stopped. They should have just stopped there with those, because animation in general is a great place for the Matrix to be. They actually have done some Matrix short films, whether they're done by fans or by the studios. Those are out there. But one thing I did like with the Animatrix is the original story that popped up with it, which is a story that coincides with what's happening in here. And the animation on that, the skin texture is so great. I will hopefully have the name of what it is right here. Go see it. If you're not, check here on YouTube. I'm sure you can probably just type in Animatrix and see each of the short films. If you haven't seen them, do yourself a service. That is so great. But that's in of my rant, kind of, sort of. I'm sure I'll rant somewhere along the lines about it more. But as you can see, I do have both the DVD and Blu-ray Ultimate Edition collections here. The Blu-ray I had recently picked up. I live here in Chicago, Illinois, and I went to Reckless Records, and they had this actually for $22. So I was just like, or $25, my apologies. But I was really wanting to get this, because I did have this already. This had been in my collection for about a year. But I was like, I want to watch, I want to see, when I want to watch the best quality possible. So I went looking for the Blu-ray collections, and at the time when I was buying this, people were being fucking idiots. They were trying to sell this shit for like, $75 and open. I'm like, no, there's no way I'm gonna buy that if I already own the movies as it is. And there's nothing special about this box set. I mean, it kind of looks almost like, someone just said, just throw that out there, they'll take that. As long as they're Blu-rays, people don't care. They'll probably buy the individual ones and we'll make more money on that. This is not that great of a box. It really is just something that holds the movies there. But one thing I do like is you got The Matrix. As I said, Animatrix, got the Blu-ray on that. I do have the DVD, like I said, I just can't find it in time for this video. Then you got Reloaded. Should have been loaded when I saw it the first time. Revolutions. Then here you do have a disc that I'm a big fan of special editions. That to me is why Blu-rays exist, because they have the space for it. Movies that don't have it, they're ripping you off. Give me something. But this is called the Matrix Experience. This is a 2-disc set. This has special features that I don't believe are on this one. I'll check as I talk about this one. I'll look at this one and see if they're the same, but I think they're different. This one on disc 1 is called, or side A of disc 1. It's called the Burly Man Chronicles, which sounds familiar, so that might actually be on this one. That is the profiles of the society of craft people, actors, and filmmakers who devoted years of their lives to the movie trilogy and Enter the Matrix console game. So there was a video game called Enter the Matrix that focused actually on the Jada Smith Pinkett character and a lot of the other captains who were in Reloaded. But I didn't care. I don't play video games that much, so I'm not going to go and buy it. Sorry if there's a glare. Then also on side A, they talk about the pre-production, shooting in Australia, Alameda. Go deeper and follow the White Rabbit with 3 documentary pods revealing 21 featurettes. So this could just be a combination of all what's in the others. I think this is all brand new content though. Then you got side B, which is called The Roots of the Matrix. That has return to source, the philosophy and the Matrix, the hard problem, the science behind the fiction, which is an insightful documentary that probes the historical and philosophical and technological inspirations of the Matrix Trilogy. Like I said, I'm not going to try and go into the philosophy and all that. That's for you to decide. You know, watch the documentary and see if you agree with it. If not, it's not a big deal. On disc 2, they have what's called the Zion Archive. This is just one-sided. It's production assets developed for the universe of the Matrix, including concept artwork, storyboards, and drawings. Next features called the Media of the Matrix, which is basically just music videos, TV spots, all the crap they put on any other movie is put in here. But I did like that you do get an additional disc compared to what you already get with this set. So I'm not upset about how this is. I just think for a Blu-ray set, this could be better. This could be a lot better. You do get the booklet as well, the Ultimate Matrix booklet. It's basically almost what you're going to be getting. It's basically just a walkthrough of what's in each of the discs, so it's really thanks for nothing. But this one right here, this I remember seeing in infomercials when I lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I believe in 1999, late 1999, early 2000. No, actually in 2000. I think that's when this came out. But the infomercials made this look so damn good. You were drooling over this when it was done because, you know, you got the movies in a nice little shelf-like setting. You got, you know, a statue of Neo, which when you look for this, make sure that if it is open, they have Neo with the sunglasses. Because every time I was trying to buy this, they kept saying no sunglasses, but all the pictures I saw of it, he had sunglasses. So I went and just said, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna go and get a brand new one that's sealed. I asked the seller if he had the sunglasses just to be on the safe side, and he sent me a picture showing me indeed he did have them. So I knew what I was getting with this one. Now, with this one, it's called the Ultimate Matrix Collection. It's 3 monumental movies, 10 state-of-the-art discs, over 35 spellbinding hours of bonus features. And it comes with the exclusive resin Neo bust and collectible 80-page book with never before seen artwork and storyboards. So is that the same as this? I don't know, because I'm not opening it. Like I said, when I originally was going to film this, I was going to slice this bitch open and open it up, and I just could not do it. I couldn't bring myself to opening it when I already have these in DVD format anyway. I have the Animatrix somewhere in there. If not, I could buy it for less than $5. And I also have the Ultimate Edition collection in, you know, Blu-ray, which is already a better quality concept anyway. So I'm not opening this thing up. You're on YouTube. Go find someone who's opening it up. Let them be stupid about it. I see people who actually put the statue somewhere else. I'm like, I'm not doing all that. This is beautiful. Dude, I spend money for this. All of $20. Brand new. Shipping included. I got a good deal. Now, this may cost you anywhere between $35 and $50, depending on where you're getting it from, because shipping and handling. So this is more for a collector. Someone who doesn't own them, this is a great way to get them. That way you don't have to worry about, you know, the individual ones, and you have everything in one set, and you can just put it on the shelf, and like I said, it's $25, $50. You're gonna spend that anyway to buy the individual movie, so get it with the statue. But on this Disc 1, you get the Matrix. Disc 2, you get the Matrix Revisited. Disc 3 is the Matrix Reloaded. Disc 4 is the Matrix Reloaded Revisited. Disc 5 is the Matrix Revolutions. Disc 6 is the Matrix Revolutions Revisited. Disc 7, Disc 7 is the Animatrix. Disc 8 is the Roots of the Matrix. Disc 9 is the Burly Man Chronicles, and Disc 10 is the Zion Article. So I answered my own question. If the Blu-ray and the DVD were the same, I got lied to. I was told that this Matrix Experience 2 disc databank bullshit was all new concept, and I just read that it ain't. So yeah, awesome. But now I got it in Blu-ray, I think. Make sure. Motherfucker, these are DVDs. Oh, fuck. Yeah, you suck. Alright, what the fuck? Y'all, just buy this one, because you want all the movies together, if you want the statue. I still recommend getting this, but what the fuck? Why are the special features always still in DVD? Why is it when there's a Blu-ray collection, they cheapen out on the fucking special features and they do that shit and give you the fucking DVDs? I'm thinking I'm gonna at least get this in a Blu-ray. No, and it's double-sided, like I read before. I should have known when it was double-sided. I didn't know what I was thinking. Now that I'm thinking about it, Blu-rays are not double-sided. So, what the fuck? All right. Well, I'm kind of disappointed, but. You know what? Moving on, too little, too late, and let's face it, I would have bought it anyway. Not like I wasn't gonna buy it, but fuck you. The Ultimate Matrix Collection, when this first was announced, this was info commercial so much. I would actually look for this at 3 in the morning because the info commercial is pretty sweet. I ain't gonna lie, it was a half-hour long, and they went and they talked about the Matrix movies, they talked about what the discs were gonna be, and all this other stuff that you got, the Animatrix and everything else in there, the statue. And I actually have seen what the statue looks like on its own in person. I actually know someone who has it, so I got to look at it. It actually is pretty good. I mean, it looks just like Keanu Reeves. It's amazing, and that was actually the biggest reason for me getting it. Was because I saw how well the statue looked. But I will spin this for you so you can see it if my turner will allow it, because this is heavy. I just like how this is. If you can see just how thick it is. I mean, it fit on a bookshelf beautifully. It's flat. It has. You can put stuff on top of it if you're running out of room, which, hey, I don't have a lot of room, so when I do put it somewhere, I'll probably have these, if it's on the shelf, these may be on top of it, and this will be next to it, just to save space, but, you know, I like this. I want to give you guys an image of it. I might actually give a close-up of this, and if that doesn't look good, then I'll put a picture in front of this so you won't even see this. But, you know what, fuck it, you're going to see all this. I'm not taking that out. This is going straight through, people. No edits on this one. This box set here is worth it. This box set, if you can get it for $22, is a good deal. But the fucking special features are DVDs. But I'm looking at it as it's spinning around, and I see the detail on the base of the statue for Neo, and it's really detailed. It has nice piping that is ripped apart. You see the wiring inside of it, so it looks pretty good. But that's it for me, guys. This has been a video that's been long overdue. A really good friend of mine, William Dean, who I mentioned before because he asked me to do a video on the Batman 1966 TV series, which I did, which was a huge hit, by the way. So thank you guys so much for that. I'm still getting comments on that. That he had asked me to do a review of the Matrix movies. I've been putting it off, not intentionally, because every month I'm like, I gotta get this filmed. I want to get this out, and I'm constantly, letting them know I'm gonna do it. Then I don't do it because I do so many different segments on this channel. I do movie news, I do reviews, I do comic rants, and I do unboxings and pickup videos. I just didn't have a window open to do it where I can do it justice and not do it where it feels rushed. So hopefully you guys aren't feeling bored by this video. I know it's a little longer than what I normally do, but I didn't want this to be so stuffy. So I was hoping to just unscript this and just talk to you guys and see how that turned out. So let me know what you guys think. But until then, that's it for me. William, hopefully you like that. I'll talk to you later, Slick Willie. And I will see you guys later. Please remember to hit that comment button. Right. Hit the subscribe button. It's there or there. Leave me a comment. Hit me up. I am on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Tumblr. I'm on Behance.net. I set up my Instagram account. I am everywhere. All that information is right here for you. But that's it, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Picture Book Drama. Peace. We did it! I will never harm you. I will never cut you. You will be beautiful.